Did you know that Rizal alleged retraction on December 29, 1896 is one of the greatest mysteries in Philippine history? The original document was said to have disappeared right after his death and only resurfaced in 1935, almost 40 years later. Because of this, many historians still debate whether Rizal truly retracted or if the document was forged by the friars. Good day everyone, I am Haniati Manala, and today's video we will be talking about one of the most controversial questions in the history. Did Rizal retract? And also I will be including kung ano ba yung laman ng retraction ni Rizal at ano ang rason kung bakit nag-retract si Rizal, and the vlogger testimony and testimony of Cuerpo de Vigilancia at kung ano ang connection ni Rizal sa Katipunan. So let's start it. So first, what does retraction actually means? So ang retraction is when someone formally takes back or withdraws what they have previously said, written, or believes. In simple words, retraction means binabawi or inuurong mo yung dati mong sinasabi or paniniwala mo. For example, imagine you made a public statement tapos later you admit it was wrong at formal mo itong binawi. That's called the retraction. So, ngayong alam na natin kung ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng retraction, ngayon naman alamin natin kung ano ang laman ng retraction ni Rizal, kung ano yung nakasulat sa retraction ni Rizal. Ang dokumentong ito ay translated from Spanish to English. The document was found by Father Miguel Garcia on May 1935. Pressure from the church and the authorities. Jesuit priest and the Spanish official constantly persuade him to return to the Catholic faith before his execution. So paulit-ulit siyang kinukumbinsi ng mga pare at opisyal na bumalik sa pananampalatayang Katoliko bago siya barilin. Number 2 is marriage to Josephine Bracken. The church only allowed their marriage if Rizal retracted his anti-Catholic writings. So, papayagan lamang ng simbahan ang kanilang kasal kung babawiin ni Rizal ang kanyang mga isinulat laban sa Katolisismo. So, number 3 is concern to his family. Maaaring ginawa niya ito upang maprotektahan ang kanyang pamilya laban sa mga mahigpit na parusa ng mga Kastila. At huli sa lahat ay ang spiritual preparation of death. Sa harap ng malapit na pagbitay, baka taos-puso niyang hinanap ang pakikipagkasundo sa Diyos at sa simbahan. So let's begin with Father Vicente Balaguer, a Jesuit priest. He claimed that during Rizal's last hours, he was the one who persuaded him to retract his writings against the church and even the marriage of Josephine Bracken. However, according to the book, Balaguer's name was never mentioned in the primary eyewitness accounts of Rizal's final day. This makes him only a secondary source, and his testimony remains questionable. On the other hand, there is an official report from the Cuerpo de Vigilancia, the Spanish colonial security force. Their document begins with the words, "Most illustrious sir, the agent of Cuerpo de Vigilancia stationed in Front Santiago to report on the events." Their report narrates Rizal's final hours in detail, including his conversation with Jesuit priests, his writing of letters. Their agent gave a very detailed account. The book says that at 7:50 yesterday morning, Jose Rizal entered death row accompanied by his council and the Jesuit priest Villa Clara. At approximately 9, the assistant of the plaza, Senor Maure, asked Rizal if he wanted anything. He replied that at the moment he only wanted a prayer book. It appears that these two presented him with a prepared retraction on his life and deeds that he refused to sign. They argue about the matter until 12:30 when Rizal ate some poached egg and a little chicken. This tells us that Rizal was pressured to sign a retraction, but he initially refused. Later, the report continues. At 3 in the afternoon, Father March entered the chapel and Rizal handed him what he had written. Immediately, the chief of the firing squad and the assistant of the plaza were informed. They entered death row and together with Rizal signed the document that the accused has written. But here's the twist. The testimony never clearly said that it was the retraction. It only confirmed Rizal wrote something. This leaves us with more question than an answer. But here's what we should not forget: Rizal's influence to the Katipunan. The book reminds us that the Rizal's connection to the Katipunan was undeniable. In fact, the precursor of the Katipunan as the organization in the La Liga Filipina formed members decided to bond together to establish the Katipunan after a few days after Rizal's exile on 7 July 1892. Katipuneros even used Rizal's name as the password. Even though Rizal was not directly a member, the Katipuneros admired him deeply. In 1896, Pau Valenzuela visited Rizal in Dapitan to ask for his support in launching the revolution. Rizal refused, not because he did not love his country, but because he believed Filipinos are not yet ready. He feared a premature uprising would only lead to unnecessary bloodshed. In a way, Rizal was right. The Katipunan did face great challenges, but despite that note, Rizal's writing and his eventual martyrdom gave the Katipuneros the courage to continue. So, did Rizal retract? The Balaguer said yes. The Cuerpo de Vigilancia says it's uncertain. The truth, we may never know. But whatever Rizal retracted or not, his influence on the Katipunan and the Philippines revolution cannot be erased. His death on December 30, 1896 was not the end. It was the spark that lighted the flame of freedom in every Filipino's heart. Once again, I am Haniati Manyala and thank you for listening and have a great day. Thank you.